Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV Nightly News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Ansumane Sonyase. Here are the main news headlines. The Right Reverend James Allen Yao Odico, former Anglican Bishop of the Gambia and the TRRC Commissioner, who devoted his life to the church and the nation, passed away at 71. On Wednesday, the National Assembly commenced the third ordinary session of its 2025 legislative year, during which Defense Minister Baboucarr Ojuf discussed the issue of Gambian workers who absconded in Spain. And the Food Safety and Quality Authority has intensified action against unsafe food, destroying tons of unfit products and closing non-compliant businesses to safeguard consumers. On Thursday, the Pharmaceutical Society of the Gambia joined the global community in celebrating World Pharmacist Day, highlighting pharmacists' vital role in advancing healthcare. And in international news, in a powerful address at the 80th UN General Assembly in New York, King Abdullah II of Jordan urged world leaders to condemn the war in Gaza, hold the UN accountable for unenforced resolutions. Stay tuned as we bring you more on these and other stories. And now here's the news in detail. But first, we begin this bulletin with some sad news. The Right Reverend James Allen Yao Odico, former Anglican Bishop of the Gambia and the TRRC Commissioner, passed away on 23rd September 2025. Renowned for his unwavering faith, humility, and dedication to service, Bishop Odico devoted his life to the church and the nation, leaving a lasting legacy of spiritual leadership and national reconciliation. More in this report by Baboucarr Sise.
Bishop Odico's life embodied humility, devotion, and service. From parish ministry to national duty, he touched countless lives, leaving a legacy of faith, integrity, and a commitment to justice and reconciliation. Born on April 10, 1952 in Bathurst, now Banjul, Odico was baptized the same year and grew up deeply involved in church life. He served as an altar boy before taking on leadership roles in the Anglican Young People's Association, the Ushers Guild, the Boys Brigade, and the Christ Church Youth Group, where he also taught Sunday school. Odico attended St. Joseph's Primary School before moving on to St. Augustine's Junior and Secondary School. In 1961, he began working at the Methodist Bookshop as a sales clerk, a position he held until 1974. By 1964, he had been sent to Emmanuel College of Theology in Ibadan, Nigeria, where he studied Christian education and youth work, later returning to serve the diocese from 1975 to 1978. His Christian commitment extended beyond parish service. Odico became a member of the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship International, served on the board of the YMCA Gambia, and acted as treasurer of the Gambia Christian Council. In 1996, he enrolled at the Diocese School of Evangelical, where he earned the Bishop's Certificate of Proficiency in 1977 and Advanced Certificate in Biblical Studies in 1999. Licensed as a lay reader in 1998, Odico was encouraged by Bishop Solomon Tilwa Johnson to pursue ministry. He was ordained deacon on November 28, 1999, and priest on January 6, 2002. That same year, he furthered his theological training at Western Theological Seminary in Michigan, USA, studying contextual theology, evangelism, and Old Testament prophecy. On his return, he was appointed associate priest of Christ Church, Serekunda, serving until 2006. He later became sub-canon at St. Mary's Cathedral, and from 2008 to 2015, he was interim priest in charge at St. Andrew's Church in Lamen. Following the passing of Bishop Tiliwa Johnson in 2014, Odico was appointed Vicar General of the diocese and was installed as Dean of St. Mary's Cathedral in May 2015. A year later, he was elected the 7th Bishop of the Diocese of the Gambia, consecrated and enthroned at St. Mary's Cathedral by the Most Reverend Dr. Daniel Yinka Safo, primate and metropolitan of the Church of the Province of West Africa. Beyond the pulpit, Bishop Odico served the nation as a commissioner of the TRRC, bringing wisdom, compassion, and integrity to the Commission's work in promoting healing, accountability, and restorative justice. He is survived by a wife, Marian Georgiana Efwa Odico, and their children. Widely respected for his humility, deep spirituality, and devotion to Scripture, Bishop Odico leaves behind a legacy of faith and service that touched both church and nation. May his soul rest in peace. Babakar Sise, QTV News.
All our prayers and condolences to his family and loved ones during these difficult times. Now, on Wednesday, the National Assembly opened its third ordinary session of the 2025 legislative year, during which Defense Minister Babakar Ojuf addressed the situation of Gambian migrant workers who absconded in Spain. Mamnabuka has the rest of that story.
Established through a Memorandum of Understanding and signed in 2024, the Spain-Gambia Circular Migration Project provides Gambian citizens with safe temporary work in Spain, primarily in the agricultural sector, addressing Spain's labor shortages and offering an alternative to irregular migration. The first group of Gambian workers traveled to Spain in June 2025 on a 3-month contract, with return arrangements set for September 6th. They were scheduled to resume another contract in March 2026, with eligibility for permanent residency after 4 years if they met the stipulated conditions. However, only 6 of the 39 workers returned, while the remaining 33 absconded. Defense Minister Babakar Usmaila Juf provided an update on the current situation.
The ministry currently does not know their actual whereabouts. We are trying to find them. The Spanish consulate has issued a press release giving them until October 6, 2025 to return or face complete exclusion from the program. If they are able to return before the 6th, we believe the scheme will still be in active implementation.
Minister Juf was asked to explain how breaches of the agreement's terms and conditions could impact the Gambia.
At the moment, we are jittery. That is the reality. We have 50 people shortlisted, interviewed. Out of those 50, 21 are women. They are supposed to serve in two different companies in Spain. We were processing their visa applications. They were supposed to leave for Spain end of this September, if I recollect well. At the moment, that batch, we are not sure what will come out of it.
The defense minister also shared that the actions of absconders have jeopardized ongoing negotiations with other EU states.
500 extra workers were supposed to be traveling to Poland by end of this month. All these opportunities are being squashed.
When asked if the workers may have faced circumstances that led them to abandon their jobs, Minister Juf responded as follows.
When they arrived, they were accommodated. They were provided accommodation by the farm owner. The farm owner purchased a brand new vehicle for them, 0 mileage, to facilitate their movement between the farm and the city. They were being paid regularly. They were given washing machines. They were not doing their laundry with their hands. The only expenditure from their salary was their food. They were contributing 20 euro each to buy their food and do their own cooking. As far as I know, this was the best and the safest landing that they could have received in a foreign land.
Minister Juf stated that the fate of the 33 workers who absconded is unknown and lies in the hands of the Spanish and European immigration authorities. He confirmed, however, that the 6 workers who have returned home have been assured they can resume their work for the same farmer in Spain in March 2026. Mam Nabuka, reporting for QTV News.
Now, the Food Safety and Quality Authority, FSQA, has stepped up its crackdown on unsafe food and non-compliant businesses, destroying tons of unfit products and shutting down establishments between 2023 and 2024. The FSQA Director General said the sweeping enforcement measures are supported by new legislation designed to safeguard public health. Julian Jai reports.
Between 2023 and 2024, the Food Safety and Quality Authority conducted 10,592 inspections nationwide, leading to the confiscation and destruction of more than 1,069 tons of unsafe food, ranging from expired and contaminated products to poorly stored items. A record 903 tons were destroyed in 2023, the highest volume ever in a single year, while 46 businesses were also closed for violating safety standards. Here is Mahmoud Uba, the Director General of FSQA.
A total of 5,971 in 2023 and 4,621 in 2024. What we have seen is a decline in terms of inspections, because what we have also started doing is risk-based inspection. So we identify where the risks are most present, and that's where we concentrate on our inspections. One of the reasons is also due to compliance.
FSQA also issued 210 improvement notices to food operators to correct unsafe practices as part of a broader strategy to strengthen food safety through robust laws, education, and regular monitoring. Over the past 5 years, the authority has introduced several regulations covering key products such as rice, maize, groundnut, alcohol, and cashew packaging, alongside rules for labeling pre-packaged foods. The 2020 Food Fortification and Licensing Regulations remain central to FSQA's efforts to safeguard consumers and ensure compliance across the sector. To help businesses comply, the FSQA has also developed guidelines to support food operators in meeting established safety standards.
We are developing guidelines, import-export guidelines, and other warehouse guidelines, storage guidelines, feed import and export. We also have guidelines for startup businesses, traceability, recall. All these procedures guidelines have been developed for these. And also we have food retail businesses, guideline on food service establishments.
According to Director General Ba, basic food testing is ongoing at the Walik Laboratory, while a World Bank-funded national laboratory in Bursubi is nearing completion. Once operational, the new facility is expected to enhance testing capabilities across the country and support local businesses in meeting international export standards.
We have an MOU that will allow us to work together with the Senegalese authorities when it comes to inspection, cross-border inspection, and enforcement activities. And we are trying even to extend that MOU with the Gambia, FSQA, Plant Protection Services of Senegal, and Plant Protection Services of Pakistan. So we are working on that MOU also, because both Senegal and the Gambia import significant amounts of rice from Pakistan.
Internationally, the Gambia's leadership in food safety is also earning recognition.
As a result of the job that we have been exposed and the good job that we have done, we are now have been newly elected as the new coordinator for Africa, which is the coordinating committee for Africa.
With strengthened enforcement, new regulations, upgraded laboratories, and expanded regional presence, FSQA is committed to ensuring safer food, protecting public health, and supporting local businesses in meeting national and international standards. For QTV News, I am Julden Jai.
And the report there by Julden Jai will lead us to the commercial break. But when we return, we have more national and international news stories. We'll be right back.
Biggest network with the cheapest tariff in the Gambia, and enjoy crystal clear calls and super fast internet at the cheapest tariff, only with QCell. Rush now and grab your free QCell SIM card today from any of our care centers near you. QCell, biggest network with the cheapest tariff. QCell Senior Boss. We innovate, others follow.
browse with us. QCell brings you a promo like never before. Get unlimited internet for just $25 Cs. Yes! Recharge $25 Cs and enjoy the convenience of free internet from 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. every day with our Browse with Us promo. With this amazing offer, you can browse, stream, and download all your favorite movies for free. So why wait? Recharge $25 Cs today and enjoy free internet only with QCell between 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. For more information, call customer care on 111. QCell, Senior Bus, we innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. This is QTV News. Now, the Pharmaceutical Society of the Gambia today joined the global community in celebrating World Pharmacist Day, highlighting the vital role pharmacists play in strengthening healthcare delivery and driving national development. Our Bob tells us more.
The commemoration kicked off with a march past from Westfield to Jinpex, bringing together pharmacists, students, and community members. The symbolic procession not only showcased solidarity within the profession, but also aimed to raise public awareness about the critical role pharmacists play in safeguarding health. Ajaratu Makiu Jane Kaira, president of the Pharmaceutical Society of the Gambia, shed light on the importance of the day.
Pharmacists globally and in the Gambia, as I said, serve as medicines experts in hospitals, health centers, community pharmacies, clinics, and public health programs. Part of the medication experts is, as I said, we work as part of the team. We work to do clinical assessments when we're doing ward rounds in hospitals to try and give advice, and counseling, to patients and giving advice to doctors to prevent, for example, medication, drug-drug interactions.
Olu Koka is the senior pharmacist and former president of the Pharmaceutical Society of the Gambia.
I tried during my time to introduce this pharmacy assistant course because what I wanted was, when you enter a pharmacy, you don't see salespeople, only professionals. And it's getting to that. So I'm happy to see my colleagues also working on that. In the next few years, when you enter a pharmacy, you will know that they are all professionals and there is no lay person in the pharmacy.
Tijan Jalo, a member of the Educational Committee of the Pharmaceutical Society of the Gambia, underscored the society's commitment to advancing the pharmacy profession through continuous education, community outreach, and advocacy.
Also worth noting, our training program in the Gambia here, we are not just training our students only to sit behind the counters, only to consult and dispense medicines. It's worth noting, science is dynamic, it is not static. So what we are equipping them is for them to be in line with international standards, to be standard with all pharmacists across this beautiful planet.
Beyond its technical role, the society contributes to national development by supporting government initiatives on public health, collaborating with partners, and ensuring that pharmacists remain at the forefront of healthcare delivery. For QTV News, I am our Bob.
Now, the Ministry of Tourism and Culture, through the Tourism Diversification and Resilience in the Gambia project, organized a training session on the management of the information system for tourism. Mamna Bukha witnessed the opening ceremony, and this is her report.
The management of the information system for tourism is a new online platform designed to strengthen tourism data management in the country. This ambitious project, funded by the World Bank, is designed to fortify the tourism sector against future shocks and diversify its offerings to ensure sustainable economic growth for the Gambia. In 2024, Acorn Tourism Development Consultants were contracted to conduct a comprehensive assessment of the country's national system for tourism statistics, and one of their core recommendations was the establishment of a robust, modern, and integrated management information system for tourism. The 5-day training brought together participants from various tourism-related sectors to strengthen their capacity in using the system. This will enable the Gambia to be able to measure inbound visitors with accuracy, understand the performance of the accommodation sector in real time, gauge the appeal and viability of our attractions, and ultimately make informed policy and investment decisions that are driven by evidence, not just intuition. Kevin Millington, the lead consultant of MIST, explained what this system could mean for the Gambia in the long run if successfully implemented.
By the end of the project in March 2027, it will be a system that will be rich in data, and it will be something which will continue here in Gambia and be a fantastic tool for measuring tourism for years to come.
Momodu Sise, the project director of MIST, shared that the system, once fully operational, will be the backbone for a more resilient, competitive, and sustainable tourism industry for the Gambia. He urged the participants to make the best out of this workshop, stating that the most advanced technology is ineffective without the human expertise to harness its power.
Let us remember that this training is more than just a series of capacity building sessions. It is an investment in our nation's future. Let us make this week count.
Ibrahima A.K. Sanyang, a participant and senior officer of research and development at the Gambia Tourism Board, described the training as timely and transformative, noting that the skills gained will not only improve their professional work, but also contribute to building a more reliable, data-driven tourism sector that benefits the entire country. Mamna Buka, reporting for QTV News.
And time now for international news in a moment. Now, in a powerful address at the 80th United Nations General Assembly on September 23rd, King Abdullah II of Jordan urged world leaders to condemn the war in Gaza, hold the UN accountable for unenforced resolutions, and take decisive action to end the cycle of political inaction. As everybody reports.
The address was a stark departure from typical UNGA speeches, with fewer diplomatic niceties and stronger sense of urgency. King Abdullah II delivered a forceful message, sharply criticizing the international system for allowing what he described as another cycle of death, deprivation, and displacement in Gaza.
Our UN General Assembly was born 80 years ago, pledging to learn from, not repeat, history. The world vowed never again. However, for almost as long, Palestinians have been living through a cruel cycle of yet again, bombed indiscriminately, yet again, killed, injured, and maimed, yet again, displaced and dispossessed, yet again, denied rights, dignity, their basic humanity, yet again. So I must ask, how long? How long will it be before we find a resolution to this conflict, one that safeguards the rights of all sides and allows a level of normalcy in the lives of the families at its core?
The Israel-Palestinian conflict traces back to the mid-20th century, when the establishment of Israel in 1948 displaced hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. Tensions escalated further after Israel occupied the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza following the 1967 war. Here is King Abdullah again.
The war in Gaza marks one of the darkest moments in this institution's history. But although it is today's horror, the injustice stretches back decades. The Palestinian-Israeli conflict has been on the UN agenda throughout its 8 decades of existence. How long will we be satisfied with condemnation after condemnation without concrete action?
Decades of failed peace talks, Palestinian uprisings, Israeli settlement expansion, and recurrent wars in Gaza, particularly after Hamas took control in 2007, have kept the conflict unresolved.
More than 60,000 Palestinians killed, 50,000 children injured or killed, miles of burnt-out rubble, neighborhoods, hospitals, schools, farms, even mosques and churches in ruins, widespread starvation. And what we are seeing is only a glimpse, because never in our modern history has the lenses of international media been obstructed like this from capturing the reality on the ground.
King Abdullah II's address serves as a stark reminder that decades of inaction have prolonged suffering in Gaza, urging the international community to move beyond rhetoric and take meaningful steps toward justice, peace, and the protection of Palestinian lives. Aisa Tubari, QTV News.
And I'm afraid this is where we draw the curtains on this bulletin. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap of our main headlines. The Right Reverend James Allen Yao Odico, former Anglican Bishop of the Gambia and the TRRC Commissioner, who devoted his life to the church and the nation, passed away at 71. On Wednesday, the National Assembly commenced the third ordinary session of its 2025 legislative year, during which Defense Minister Babukar Ojuf discussed the issue of Gambian workers who absconded in Spain. The Food Safety and Quality Authority has intensified action against unsafe food, destroying tons of unfit products and closing non-compliant businesses to safeguard consumers. On Thursday, the Pharmaceutical Society of the Gambia joined the global community in celebrating World Pharmacist Day, highlighting pharmacists' vital role in advancing healthcare. And in international news, in a powerful address at the 80th UN General Assembly in New York, King Abdullah II of Jordan urged world leaders to condemn the war in Gaza, hold the UN accountable for unenforced resolutions. That's it for this bulletin. Do join us at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Until then, thanks for watching.